Could someone please explain what's going on?
Once upon a time, your father and Emma's mother dated in college.
Wait, what?
No, I mean, it wasn't serious.
Are you serious?
That's a
Good
great question.
And we live really close to each other too.
neighbors.
Yeah, we're neighbors. So I don't know. Maybe we needed to wait for the perfect time.
I have never said this to Brooke, and I told my wife that I was going to say this, that it wasn't until the last day of shooting, which is in fact the proposal scene where I drop to a knee and ask her to marry me, and then we finally wrap it up with a kiss, where after Mark Waters yelled cut, inside I went, yes, I finally got to kiss Brooke Shields. Like, this has been a burning desire since I was probably 12 years old.
Oh my God.
So to your question, I don't know why we haven't worked together in all these years. Like, I've been a fan of hers, both of her work as an actor and just who she is as a person since I was a child, literally.
And the feelings beyond mutual. And I've been a fan of his for forever. And I remember one time we were sitting next to each other in a restaurant, and I just remember kind of going, okay, all right. It's like, I don't lose my cool a lot. Like, I'm just, I'm fine. I can probably deal with anything. I was like flop sweat. Like, I literally was sitting and it was like a cool dinner with like the cool people. Like, that's when I was on the list, I guess. And I just remember thinking like, just be really cool. Like, hey, how you doing? Yeah. And I was like, nothing. I didn't know what to do with my face. Let's put it that way.
That's what I've always, and I've come to really love it, but I've always admired that about her, is that you don't have to try to be cool. Like, in fact, you go out of your way to be self-deprecating and kind of take the piss out of yourself, as they say. And it's really charming, and it's really kind of astounding when you, in fact, when we started working, I also told her on the plane on the way over to Thailand, like, I said, I know your documentary on Hulu just broke, and I've seen the reviews, and I can't wait to see it, but I am not going to watch it until after we are wrapped shooting, because I do not want to be reminded of the living legend and icon that you are, because it's going to really throw me, and I'm going to just be intimidated by you. So I did watch it when I got back to New York City.
I was going to ask you that question if you did or not.
I was like, damn, I really did make out with Brooke Shields. Finally.
In the water.
in the water, no
In the
doubt,
water.
yeah.
I've been fighting for this new movement. I mean, that was one of the sort of most important things when Christina Rogers at Netflix said, I want to tell these stories. And I said, good luck, because you're going to get resistance. Like, and it's so interesting because I'm 58 and that's, I play basically my age or whatever. But Netflix prefers that you say over 40. Because somehow that's more palatable to them.
Sexier.
So it's better to be over 40 than in your 50s. Because in your 50s is, God forbid, that's like, grandma. How do you find a grandma sexy, right? So to fight for something like that in an industry that really is predominantly the young, the ingenues and the young people in the beginning of their journey. So I fought for this movie, and each iteration of the script, I kept saying, do not be afraid of this part, because all the women I know who are in their 50s, but they are over 40, have these extraordinary new beginnings in their life. And so that's been a focus for me and a platform, because I feel like my life is just beginning. My kids are cooked. They're their own people. And I'm now left going, well, my God, if I'm not just mom, who am I? How do I reignite what I want in my own life? So to have it be in this environment, is such a beautiful story to tell. So I was very happy and happy that there was a person and a producer who fought for this story when there was resistance.
I hope it becomes less rare, and I'm really pleased that this film is a reflection of what exists in life. And it's a reminder thematically that love is for everyone. Everyone wants it, everyone needs it, that sense of belonging, an opportunity to express your own desire. And you know, in that it focuses on the story of these two people who, you know, in their earlier years had a very passionate love affair, but due to different circumstances, a lack of good communication, they went their separate ways. And we discover that there's still a spark there, that they get to revisit it at this age, at an age which, you know, heretofore has been seen as like over the hill, or you're no longer viable. It just proves what we all know. I mean, you can even talk to people in their 90s. Like, love is always possible if you don't have it. It's always around the corner, and it's the essence of hope, and that's what gets you up in the morning. I would think
it's something that is it's intangible, you know, and then especially age-wise, men in traditionally, especially in cinema, before, you know, the talkies, they get to be salt and pepper, and that's sexy and handsome, right? That's not our narrative, you know, that is not what we're, and if you know, God forbid you look a little bit older, right? You're criticized for that. And then if you get anything done, you're criticized for getting something done. So there's this real precarious position that, you know, that women in particular really are in. You know, Marilyn Monroe died looking like Marilyn Monroe. You know, that would be an affront to people to see her in her 70s. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Because she wouldn't be Marilyn Monroe anymore. And there's something in the sort of the psyche of people that really does hold on to that. And so as a woman in this phase of my life, you know, you really have to sort of fight to be heard and seen, but not from a place of anger, just from a place of vitality.
we're hoping that the next step is grandmother of the bride. So we're
working on that one.
We'll shoot that in like 15 years.
Perfect.
Yeah, perfect.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, I so enjoyed this movie, and I love how, you can still be figuring yourself out, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. It was such a great film, and I'm excited for everyone to be able to see it. Thank you both so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
I feel like we bonded so fast because of it, because we're all from different places. Like I'm from LA, and then Brooke is from New York, and he's from London. And
I wish you got my name wrong. It would have been so good if you're like, and Jeremy's from
London.
Oh man, it would have been so good. We all really close.
We bonded so quickly. But it was just crazy because we're all coming from all these different places, and we were meeting in a place none of us had ever really been. And it's so far away, and it was so new. And we all got to stay at the resort that we filmed the movie at. We actually got to all stay there in rooms right near each other. So we like hung out all the time.
We did, yeah. And I think also we were all up for the experience. I think sometimes people are in different places, but when you're doing, and some people are at home and some people aren't, so they have lives that revolve around that. But we were all away from our families, as you say, really far away, in a place that I don't think any of us had experienced as much as, well, by the end, we really knew it quite well in comparison. So it happened really fast, it did. And on our off days, all we had was as many activities as possible. I mean, like scuba diving. I didn't know that I'd go scuba diving with Ben Bratt, but there you go. It happens,
I was really excited just because rom-coms are actually my favorite genre of film. I absolutely love rom-coms, so I was super excited to get to be a part of one and just to have such a fun adventure, like to go to Thailand and to get to like hang out with the whole cast all the time and try real Thai food and go to an elephant sanctuary and just all of it. I turned 30 while we were filming the movie too, so I had my birthday there, and it was.
That was a good ice cream cake.
It was really good. He got me an ice cream cake.
That's not why I said that. Why did you have to do that?
Well, you did give me an ice cream cake, and it was really sweet.
No, Rachel Harris. Rachel Harris. Yeah. With Ben, it's Miss Congeniality.
Yeah, Miss Congeniality.
Which I think was like his last rom-com.
Yeah.
So like we dragged him back out of rom-com retirement for something, and I just remember, well, actually, like as a Latin person, I just remember going like, that guy's great, and it's great that there's a Latin American police agent. I don't know. I mean, it might have been long enough ago that we didn't have this then, but it's just, it's always nice to see someone representing where they're from, you know. And he's, I mean, yeah, he's outrageous to watch, isn't he, really? What about you?
Miss Congeniality for sure. I love that movie. My mom is like a little bit in love with Benjamin Bratt. So.
And Brooke, I mean, I actually, I don't know how this happened, but I think I knew that before I knew that I was doing the movie with Brooke, I did see Pretty Baby, which is a wild movie, and so that sticks out to me the most, obviously, as it's such an important time for her, and we spoke about it afterwards after the movie.
I watched Blue Lagoon when I was younger, and also, her documentary about like Pretty Baby also was really awesome. So when you were asking about bonding, I feel like the dance actually, like if being in Thailand hadn't been enough to bring everybody together, like doing the dance and like being partners in the dance, we worked on it every weekend, and I'm a horrible dancer, and it's kind of...
That's not true.
I'm horrible, and it's one of my biggest it's one of my biggest fears, having to dance in public. So like a week maybe into being in Thailand, they came up with the idea for, and Mark like took us aside and was like, oh, we're gonna do this dance and we're gonna learn a whole like little dance routine, and I was mortified, but
yeah, you called me and you were like, "This is a joke."
Right? I was like,
this
I can't
is
do it.
April Fool's. Like, this is very
like
funny.
it can't be real.
Yeah, this isn't going to
But
be.
it was real.
And then it was like, maybe if we do it badly enough, it won't be in.
But it wasn't. It still made it in.
No, we went for it. We actually gave it a really good go. It was great.
I still know it.
Do you?
I think.
Oh
I
God!
should have said that.
Well, you shouldn't. Although luckily we're sitting down, we don't
Yeah.
have to do it. But we had so much fun, and actually, there's a lot more of the extra, the sort of the outer cast that played our friends on the movie, and it was great because we got to meet them, and they were all a wonderful group of people to spend time with too. So we actually it helped the movie a lot having that experience. It was good fun. It was good fun.
It was really fun.
Yeah, how would we? Do we age ourselves and then break
Daughter
up and then
time.
our kids meet each other? No. How would it work? Obviously, I'd love to do that. Yeah, do you want to go to Thailand again?
I'm down for Thailand.
Let's do that
anytime
again.
with this group of people.
Yeah, of course we'd love to do that. I don't know how it would work, but
Maybe it could be a destination wedding for Will and Lana.